Hello all and welcome to another Gamerscore update, and today we'll be covering all of the completions and the updates that made a game a completion again in the month that was June 2023. So we've done quite a few updates because I've started hitting the Eastasiasoft updates. I still have a few more of those to go, but I also got some completions as well. Got a few of those. Can't remember exactly how many, but we got Fall Guys done. So we'll be talking about the 1000g out of Fall Guys soon. So there's a 1000g completion from 0. Also in a building full of cats. And finally, the one we're going to start with is LOL Surprise. BBS, Born to Travel. I have no idea what BBS stands for. A little bit of a story behind this one. Now, this should actually be top of the list, but the game has now gone, and it's the last game I played before I sort of got this all sorted out in order to talk about for this video. But the story behind this is that my good friend Big Game Owl, he's going for all completions, I think, in the Outright Games library, and this is one of those games in it. So I believe he originally bought it off the game collection for £15 or £16, then smashed it out double quick, and then took his copy to CEX, traded in for £20 in-store credit. So essentially, getting 1000g and making a little bit of credit at CEX over what he paid for it. Long story short, we went to Norwich for a gaming market, found another copy, did he? And paid £10.50 for it and was going to trade it in for some more credit. However, he lent it to me first so that I could smash out the 1000g. I've now taken it to CX and got his credit so it didn't devalue. And we've got our £20 in CX credit for him, making himself a little profit of, what, £9.50, I think. So there we go. But anyway, we smashed out the completion and LOL Surprise, BBS Born to Travel. So if you see this one for cheap, it is an easy completion, but just be aware it will take around about 4 to 5 hours. It's a little bit of a overcooked clone in that sort of game, where you essentially stroll around a kitchen, you know, getting ingredients, cooking them up, and then taking them to a little conveyor belt for the customers outside to basically take away and enjoy whatever is in them. And yeah, it's not difficult at all. As you'll see, first ball delivered. So basically you get all the ingredients up. When you cook them up, they go into the ball and you put the ball on the conveyor belt. First ball delivered will get you the first ball delivered achievement. So a nice easy one to start with. So completing the first level, that's also achievement. Be warned, there are a lot of levels in this game and they are very similar. They do bring in new mechanics, but they are very similar. There's two styles of cooking up ingredients and making the balls, but it does bring in other mechanics as well. It brings in like a water level where there are platforms, moving platforms, where you need to get to one side of I suppose, the kitchen to another. And there is also one with portals for you to walk through and appear somewhere else, and also portals for you to put the plates on and appear somewhere else. However, the portal one is the last zone only, and I found that you didn't actually need to use the food portals in every level where they appeared. Only one of them was necessary. It's actually quicker just to walk through the portals that transport you with a plate in your hand as and where needed. But the worlds will take a long time because there are 6 levels per world, and that each level in the world has a normal level and a time trial level as well. And you need to complete the normal level to unlock its time trial version, which is slightly annoying because I kind of wish what they would have done is have one level with a time limit, and if you beat the time limit you get 2 stars, and if you don't beat the time limit but finish the level you get 1 star. I mean, the levels aren't hard to finish. Normal play, you get all the time in the world. Honestly, even not running, one thing to note is the run button is X. Hold down X to run. That will help you get through the game quicker, but a lot of the levels you don't even need to do that. Time trials are all quite simple. I mean, what I did is I did the normal level first, and then I did the time trial after, unlocking it straight after, so everything in my head is fresh, especially with the portal ones. It does take a little bit of working out of what to do quickly, because you don't want to do one at a time. You want to take some plates over, cook up 3 lots of ingredients and get them cooking, and then put the plates on and then take them over, sort of thing. Every time trial I cleared with loads of time left. I appreciate this is, by the way, completely not aimed at me. It's aimed at probably a different sex and a different age group to me. But at the same time, easy 1000g, I'm going to take the chance to grab it. But yeah, the time trials, honestly, I was clearing most of them with loads and loads of time to spare. There was one where I believed I did it the quickest way possible, or near to the quickest way possible, and I still had 45 seconds left. Just the one level, but everything else was probably over a minute, maybe maybe the last level crept under a minute, but nothing ever crept below 30 seconds, for example. Right above that is play with golden character. When you start your adventure mode, you pick a character, and after every level you sort of tap the button to open up an egg and get more characters and more accessories. If you beat the normal level and then unlock the time trial level and then beat the time trial level, in that egg is always a golden character. So then before you start the next level, just switch it over so that they're wearing gold, and then you'll unlock this achievement as well. One that is technically missable, I suppose, is this one: throw a completed ball into the recycling bin. If you mess up with the wrong ingredients, or just pick up a wrong ingredient and you just don't want to leave it on the counter on the side, there's little recycling bins you can chuck it in. What you need to do is basically cook up a full plate, so 3 ingredients, cook it up into the ball, and then dump that ball into the recycling bin, and that will unlock that achievement. So the first of the 5 worlds is called Glitter City. For that achievement to unlock, you don't need to do the time trials, but like I said, I was doing them as we was going along. Second area is called Neon Desert. Third area is called Fab City, and that was where I called it for a night and then could carry it on the next morning. But before I called it a night, there are other modes that you can go into. One's called Concert and one's obviously called Fashion Show. Concert is basically press the button at the bottom of the screen as it appears, and then complete a fashion show is basically 5 stages of an on-screen bop it or Simon Says, basically, and you're pressing the button after you see it, and you have to remember the sequence. Very easy to remember. It only goes up to 5, and once you've done the 5th one, that one will unlock. So you just have to complete one of those and complete one of those. They're super simple sort of mini games. But anyway, the next morning we cracked on with it before I went to CX the same day. Completed all the Warshy levels, the Queen Islands, and then that means we have done everything in the game with regards to the worlds. So I was doing all the levels and the time trials. When you then finish the last time trial, because to get all characters and skins you'll need to do all levels and all time trials. Done all levels, all time trials, this achievement unlocks, which then caused this achievement to unlock and caused this achievement to unlock. So you get a nice little 3 for 1, although there was a bit of a delay between each of them, which got me a tiny bit worried, but there was no problem in the end, and we got our full 1000g out of this delightful little game that a grown man like me should not be playing. But we'll play anything for Gamerscore, and you never know what you may enjoy. Do you know what? It was probably fun for about 10-15 minutes, and then it's really started to drag because it's not that challenging for me, obviously, but it's also it's a repetition that I don't enjoy as well. So obviously it's going to get a bit boring to me, but if you're willing to grind it out for a nice easy 1000g, anywhere between 4 to 5 hours is pretty realistic for this one. Okay, first Eastasiasoft update is Null Drifter, and what was the update in Null Drifter? It was a while ago. Collect 96 boosters, collect 64 boosters, collect a total of 750 coins, 300 minions were killed, as were 400 minions. So the base 1000g, from what I can remember, this was not that difficult at all. See, the last achievement in the base 1000 was to reach level 6. I also collected 48 boosters and got 600 coins. Now, some of these Eastasiasoft games do remember your progress, and some of them I don't think they do. And I think this was one that did. So some of these, if you just open it up and you've already done the base 1000g, it will unlock all the achievements for you, basically, because you've already met the requirements. But some you will need to do them. I mean, if you're starting from scratch and you haven't got the 2000g, then this is great, because these are kind of going to unlock along the way while you're going for the base 1000g. But none of this is difficult. A lot of this is just playing the game. Just make sure you get to level 6, which I do believe isn't difficult anyway. It's not too far into the game. It's quite a basic vertical shooter from what I can remember. But yep, super easy 2000g. So we smashed out that and got the completion back with the update. So above that is Pity Pit, which was another update from Eastasiasoft, and I do believe that I did have to do a little bit of playtime with this. So quite funny that these unlocked the other way around, which would suggest that these all unlocked once. Yeah, they did. These all unlocked because it remembered my progress from before. However, I hadn't collected 150 materials, so I did need to play it and just get that from memory. I believe that's exactly what happened. But it's a super easy game. I mean, everything's there, exactly what it says you need to do. Just got to do it, basically. Yeah, once you dig down a certain way, I remember that's where you get a little shop where you can buy some materials from. but it's not a difficult completion, even with that extra 200G, 5 200G achievements, which is 1000G, 2000G total. The game is not difficult. It's a really easy one to do, so you'll smash that out in no time at all. So yeah, an easy 2000G and a super easy 1000G update in Pity Pit. Next up, when it loads up, let's hope I can get my words out properly this time as we talk about it. Debtor Enhanced Edition. This game has not been around long, already had an update. And the update in this was for getting to level 14. So once you complete level 13, you get to 14, that will unlock. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 were the updates. And yeah, the base 1000G is not difficult at all. In fact, it looks like I got to level 9 without dying, because I then had to die to get the Death Happens achievement by the looks of it. So played on, got levels, or finished levels 9, because we got to level 10. So finished 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13 to get to level 14, and got that extra 1000G out of Debtor Enhanced Edition. So not a difficult 2000G at all. I can remember this base 1000G being done in no time at all. I think it didn't take long. Look, you get one for just starting the game and placing a bomb and things like that. So nice and easy this one. I do believe you, even with that added on bit there, you'll take no longer than half an hour to smash this out in no time at all. Right, next up above Debtor Enhanced Edition. Being slow today, aren't you, Xbox? Right, Blow and Fly. This one, I think the base 1000G on this took a little bit of time actually, and it was a little bit of skill and a tiny little bit of frustration. It's where you basically position that fish, press the button, and it obviously makes him sort of launch off in that direction that he's facing against, if that makes sense, basically blowing and flying. So I did have to refer to True Achievements for these last two, I think. Certainly this fishball one, because there's a little mini game of fishball, obviously, and the solution on trueachievements.com will tell you exactly where it is. It was a while ago now, so I can't remember off the top of my head where it is, but if you just go to trueachievements.com, look up this game, look up that achievement, tell you exactly what level it is, where to go, and you have to do this little mini game. You have to do it, I think, 5 times. You have to do something 5 times in a row without dying, which did take me a few attempts, but eventually, once you get the hang of this game's mechanics and get it down, it's not a difficult thing to do. Choose the third option when confronted with an important choice. Again, there's a specific level, I believe, where you have to drop down somewhere rather than finish the level. Again, please refer to trueachievements.com for that one, because that's what I did. And then below that, you have to die in certain ways. So launch a ghost fish into the spikes. So basically, you can do this test run of looking at where you're going to go before you actually fire it, and that's obviously what's called your ghost fish. So you need to basically make sure he goes into spikes and not your actual main character, and that will unlock that achievement. Falling to the abyss, just into a gap with nothing underneath it, is exactly what that's. And then die without making a single jump on a level. So just roll away, find a level where you can just roll away into some spikes or into an abyss and perhaps get 2 for 1. Again, I can't remember exactly what levels I did that on, but they're not going to be too difficult to find somewhere quickly, and I'm sure trueachievements.com people have discussed the best level to do that on. But from what I can remember, the base 1000G, and this will take a little while, but you just have to complete 12 levels by the looks of it in certain aquariums. Oh no, oh yes, 12 levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 14 levels by the looks of it, because there's some levels in Aquarium 2 and some levels in Aquarium 1 all going up to level 12. So 7 of each. Not a difficult one, but you'll probably spend a bit of time with that one. So I would say an hour. Maybe you'll get it down to half hour to 45 minutes if you're much better than I am, and with skill, basically. Skill based is where I'm going with that one. Anyway, Project Starship, I do believe this one again was another update which was super quick. I think they might have unlocked for me straight away. We've got, yeah, you can tell they did, because for some reason the higher number unlocks first. So you'll see I did lose 50, 40 and 32 shields already, and I did kill 500 and 400 enemies already. But there you go, there's your base 1000G. Kill 4 bosses. If anything, might take a few runs through, because I do believe you can just kill the first one over and over again. It doesn't have to be 4 bosses in one run. Again, that is from memory. So collect 50 pickups and 6 mad events, beat high score of 100,000. Again, it's an easy base 1000G, and you'll have done nearly all the work if you have already done that base 1000G, and it'll unlock for you straight away if you've met those requirements. If not, these are not difficult things to do. Basically, just keep playing. Just keep playing, because I believe you're given multiple number of shields, and obviously once they're all gone, you're dead, game over. So nice easy update on Project Starship. And above that is a building full of cats. You know, this is I want to say hidden object game, but it's clearly just cats, because it's called a building full of cats. It's a hidden cat game, and I had a lot of fun with this, actually. There's a couple of achievements that are a little bit miscellaneous, but basically you need to finish every floor and the roof, as you'll see there. And at the end, it gives you the option to adopt or not, so make sure you hit adopt. Find Fafino. He's like a mystery cat on each floor that sort of moves around into 3 positions and or 3 places on that sort of floor. And then the third time you find him, then he'll be considered found. So that's, yeah, when you do that on a specific floor, I think that unlocks it every time. Yeah, look, find Fafino. So that one would have been on the 5th floor, I think. And that would have been a bit on the 4th floor. So find all 50 cats in the 5th floor. If you see this picture here, that's basically what the levels look like. And you can literally, you don't get punished in any way should you click and not click on a cat, basically. So you can pretty much just go mental. Each level has hidden cats, which is actually what this one is. This achievement here is find all hidden cats on the 5th floor. So the hidden cats are basically, if you click on an object, the object moves, and then the cat is behind it. Then you have to click on the cat as well. So, like for this one, you can see a sofa. One of those cushions you may click on, and the cushion moves, and underneath it's a cat. You click on the cat. So once you've got all the hidden cats, then that achievement will unlock. And every floor has find all the cats and find all the hidden cats. So just keep going until the achievements for the floor actually unlock. So there you go. Look, there's 4th floor, 50. There's some options menu achievements to do. In the options menu, there is a wet floor sign, and even in that little thumbnail, you can see just the tip of the towel hanging out, even though it's the same colour as the floor. Click on that, and that will give you that achievement. I think there's another menu-based achievement. I think it might have one of the first ones I did, actually. Find all the cats in the bunker, so you have to go underground as well. Oh yeah, you have to watch the credits, and there's also an achievement for there's a cat on the title screen, which is very, very cleverly hidden. There he is on. Yeah, that was the last achievement I unlocked. I was still missing You Can't Hide, and at the bottom left of the building, the white building, he's there somewhere if I remember right. You click on that, and you found the cat on the homepage, and that will unlock that achievement. So you find every cat on every floor, every hidden cat on every floor. Chase this Fafino around on every floor as well, and you'll get all the achievements done. And it'll take a good couple of hours or so, but I really enjoyed this. I love a hidden object game anyway, so this is basically a hidden object game where all you're finding is cats. And as I say, if you get really stuck on a level, you can literally just make sure you click everywhere. So it won't punish you for clicking anywhere that isn't a cat. But fun completion, and not an expensive one either, from what I can remember. Right, another Eastasiasoft update. Snooker Attack asked me to do some more levels. Luckily enough for me, like when I got the full 1000G out of it, I stopped because, you know, I had the feeling this sort of thing might happen. So the base 1000G ended up with me beating level 12. So I had to beat level 14, 16, 18, 19 and 20. So obviously play up to 20. And again, I found this game a little frustrating at times. I mean, the physics of hitting a ball into another ball around sort of what looks like a 2D platforming level to start with can be a bit frustrating. It does introduce a little mechanic somewhere on the last 3 levels, or the last 3 achievement levels there, 18, 19, 20, which is the last 3 levels, Rob. And yeah, a little jetpack thing, which you think would be really hard to control, but it's not. Basically, you know, use the fuel on the jetpack does run out, so you're better off taking whatever one shot you need. Make sure you land safely, burn all the fuel, and then get another one before you want to make another shot while using the jetpack. But as I say, the physics can be a little bit annoying, but the levels generally ain't too difficult. You can just persevere and keep trying, and I think it's one of those where if you just keep trying and generally know what you're doing, you'll eventually get there. Not a difficult 2000G at all. And definitely wasn't too tough of a base 1000G as well. Right, next up we got Fall Guys. We finally got Fall Guys done. I know Fall Guys is a much loved game by many. For me, I'm kind of glad to see the back of it. Not the biggest fan, but it is what it is. The really annoying achievement is this one here, because technically you can throw money at the game and buy a lot of cosmetic items. If you want to get it through in-game currency but keep coming back daily and visiting the daily store changes, because you want to buy the too cheap stuff in the daily store every day, really, to not spend too much money and run out and have to keep waiting. Normally a 200 to 300 coin item pops up, and normally a 500 to 700 item pops up every day, so you kind of just want to buy the one item that costs 200 to 300. Maybe treat yourself to the 500 one if you're sitting on a lot of coins. But yeah, that's going to take a long time if you want to do it without spending real world money and getting more in-game currency to speed that up. But you can speed it up. I didn't, and it took a long while of visiting every day. As you'll see, it took longer for me to get that than it did to qualify from 500 rounds, which again is a bit of a grind. But lucky enough for me, I progressed enough to eventually earn myself through in-game progression a legendary costume complete kit, so I was able to apply that and get that done eventually, which obviously unlocked that as well. You need to equip a custom punchline, so when you win a show that your character does that sort of custom punchline and then unlocks that achievement. That will come along naturally through playing while you're certainly going for the qualifier from 500 rounds. 10 cosmetic items is also an achievement as well as the 50, so obviously you'll get that on your way to your 50, but again, just don't spend too many coins on the heavy items. Like if you're spending 1,000 coins, that's like 5 days worth of buying 200 coin items, which is seriously what you need to do. Qualify from a team game with a score of 1. Now personally, I got very lucky. They ran a full ball tournament and I have kept playing that till eventually I got a 1-0 win for the team that I was on, which took a long while. You can't win by 1 goal. You have to literally win with a score of 1. So you have to win a full ball game 1-0. There are other games that qualify, but for me that's how I got it and how it came round. Unfortunately, it has to be in a public match. It can't be a custom either. So like these events that they throw at you and these sort of specialised sort of things that happen every now and again that they throw at you is where you're going to get some of these achievements easy. I mean, you can get it through the other modes and all that sort of stuff, but where you're going to get them easier is through these sort of pop-up modes that don't actually hang around for too long, for like a week or so. So we did equip a rare legendary body colour pattern upper and lower piece costume as well. Qualify after a round goes to overtime. So for me, during that full ball tournament, I was in a game that was drawing and obviously it went to overtime, and then the team that I was in managed to pick up the win by winning in the overtime. So get a group of friends together. We did that and we played full ball. Win an episode as part of a party of 3 or more players. In fact, there might actually be a lie. I believe it's the racing round here, which I used to get this, I used to get this, used to get this, and used to get this. Got extremely lucky. In fact, it's my friend Big Game Out that put us onto it. Again, one of these sort of events that only hang around for a week happened, and it was a short little course that basically you got a crown for just completing it, and it wasn't difficult. I think it was only like there was only 24 of you allowed in it at a time, but obviously there's multiple runs, thousands of them running at once, so it's not like you couldn't get a game. But yeah, and it's such an easy course and you had loads of time to finish it, more than enough time to finish it. So I was able to finish that 5 times in a row, and it counted as winning his episode. So I was able to unlock that achievement. So again, you just need to get lucky with the weekly stuff or just be exceptionally good at the game. But even if you're exceptionally good at the game, there's that horrible luck factor about it as well that creeps in quite obviously, if you ask me. So yeah, thank God for that event, because that event was that easy that I got the perfect route down and won a lot of the time. So that was why I got my win 20 episodes and the racing achievement as well. There's for win a race. Oh yeah, get first place in a racing round 20 times. I was able to get that done as well. So that was fantastic to absolutely get that knocked off and get that knocked off with that easy little assault course thing that came up. And then while I was in it, I was just like, well, we might as well do that as well. Perform an emote. So you perform an emote by pressing up, down, left, right on the D-pad, and then just make sure you do that before you cross the line. So, yep, 7 episodes. Qualify from 100 rounds. Doesn't need me to tell you that that's going to happen when you go for the 500s before it. Right, reach level 40 fame during a season. Every time you play a game of Fall Guys, you get some XP. Keep your eye on the daily and weekly challenges as well. If you're going for this, I would make sure you play at least daily and get all the daily challenges done, because they'll really help you get that done. Look out for bonus weeks and things like that. Occasionally they'll throw up a double XP week, or they'll throw up daily challenges that keep repeating. Basically, they never disappear even though you've done them. So yeah, as long as you play it enough during a season, you're gonna get there. So share a hug with a Fall Guy. That's just grabbing someone, bump into 3 people while rolling on the ground before getting up. Like, this is all stuff for me that just these sort of ones here just happen. They'll happen. Bump into other Fall Guys 1,000 times total. Again, it's cumulative. It'll eventually happen. Knock someone over. So if you jump and do that little diving move that we all know about, if you played the game, you need to do that and just sort of hit someone and knock them over. Qualify from racing around despite falling over more than 10 times. Fall for at least 3 seconds for landing on your head. Qualify from around without falling over even once. Reach terminal velocity. So when you get on those ramps that throw you in the air, that's basically what that is. I did actually, even before that episode cropped up, I did actually manage to get first place in racing around 5 times. So I could have got to 20 without that, but thankfully that did turn up and just get that knocked out for me. And I was able to win an episode as well before that even came around. So it can happen even if you're not great at the game like myself. Reach level 10 fame during the season. That's a nice, easy one. Get first place in a racing round. This is all easy stuff down here. Qualify from your first round is obviously going to be pretty much everybody's first ever achievement. Equip your first cosmetic item as well. So as soon as you earn one, throw one on. Equip an uncommon one or better of all of that. Job done. So yeah, it's a bit of a grind with some of the achievements, and some of them are obviously gonna need a bit of luck, and I need the right event to come round. Should it come round? I say should it come round. I hope it does for those people that are still after they're trying to get this game. But as I say, that little assault course one that was super easy that came along really helped. And it was like, yes, I've got the difficult achievements out of the way. Now it's just the grind. And when it was just a grind, boy was it a grind. Also, actually, it is worth mentioning that the qualify from 500 rounds is a bit buggy. My stats, because you can actually go into your stats and tell you how many rounds you qualified from. And you'll see mine says 511. That achievement for me unlocked at 509. And obviously I just finished the game I was in. I haven't played it since. I played a lot of rounds. That's a terrible ratio. I know there's some people with a lot better ratios of rounds played to rounds qualified. So maybe your time will be significantly lower than mine, which is obviously nearly 2 days worth. But I don't know why that says 0, because obviously I got the achievement for falling for an hour. So so maybe these stats are a bit buggy, which is why it says 511 when it should say 502 if the 500 rounds qualified achievement was correct. But anyway, that was Fall Guys done and in history books, so I can now uninstall it. Yeah, sorry, not the biggest fan. Nothing against people who like it, but it's just not for me. So Cake Invaders had its update as well, another Eastasiasoft update. Reached the 20th wave, reached the 19th, 18th, 16th and 14th wave. So when I think this one doesn't remember your progress, so you're going to have to do it again, because what I remember is when I got to that 12th wave achievement on the first time around, I ended up going till about level 24 or something, and obviously I've had to do it again. But basically with this game, it is just keep playing it, and eventually you get your luck. You start off with one little shooter in the middle, and you can earn extra. I don't know, are they sisters? They all appear to be girls, but you get extra little teammates alongside you, the little girls, and once you've got 5 of them at the bottom and you're shooting stuff coming down with all 5 of you, it gets a hell of a lot easier, and then all your power-ups start coming along as well. You can use those to help you when things get a little bit hairy. As I say, there's 5 of those things, I'm not going to pronounce that, that word beginning with B, there's 5 of those cakes which look like obviously the arch in this thumbnail here to protect at once, but if you make sure you're always protecting the middle one more than any others, and you let the others die a little bit, or just try and keep them for as long as possible, but always try and protect that middle one, it becomes a lot more easier to protect one. It is worth noting that enemies can kill the extra teammates that come along, so do try to protect them as well, but they can't kill you. You basically die when all of the bits of cake disappear, because each cake has about 4 or 5 layers at the bottom. So but yeah, once you get that bit of luck and get some teammates alongside you and a few power-ups, a little bit of practice with the game as well, getting to 20th wave shouldn't be too much of a problem, and the whole 2000 can probably be done, certainly with a bit of luck, in less than half an hour. If you're unlucky, it might take a bit longer, but it's not going to take too long to get the full 2000G out of Cake Invaders. Above Cake Invaders is Lab Crisis. That had another update. Everything in this game is always seemingly easy. So I had to complete levels 19, 18, 17, 16 and 15 for the additional 1000G that's been added. And as you can see, every other achievement at the moment I can see is for finishing levels up, and some things that you need to do as well, which are gonna happen in levels, like pick up 5 or more professors, not and more. So yeah, pick up a blue key card, yellow key card, all that sort of stuff is stuff you'll need to do to finish those levels. And the levels aren't difficult. They got a little bit trickier, a tiny bit trickier. Meant I had to think a little bit. I'm sure there's guides out there if you want to use them. I did these additional 5 levels I needed to do without a guide. Not tough at all, not tough at all. That whole 4000G will half hour, honestly, half hour, maybe even less. Certainly no, not much longer should you struggle with it for whatever reason. And then above that, the final update to talk about was in Many Faces console edition, apparently. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 updates. Kill 64 enemies, 96 enemies, 20 hearts, 15 hearts, and beat stage 4. So they were your updates, and I'm gonna go by the fact that up here 20 hearts unlocked before 15 hearts. Some of these auto unlocked, but I do remember I had to play it for a bit. But anyway, the kill enemies is cumulative. It doesn't all have to be in one hit. Beat stage 4 and you'll get every achievement done along the way. It's not difficult. It's a bit of a platformer well, it's not run and gun because it's all on one level, but it's a platform shooting game where it's 2D, everything's on one level, and shoot all the enemies on the screen and then leave through the door or portal or box or whatever it was. I can't remember now, honestly, but super quick, super easy, not a difficult update to do, and not a difficult 2000G overall. Again, another probably half hour max of your life gone to get this 2000G. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is the update for June 2023. If you do have any questions about any update, put it in the comment section below, and that is where I will answer it. Please do that, because I always say if I'm on my Xbox, I am either playing games or watching TV and eating, or even recording a video like this. I'm always busy, but I do answer all YouTube comments at my leisure in my own time when I can. So please put any questions in the comment section below, or just ask me anything. Talk about games in the comment section. What are your experiences of any of these games if you've already done them yourself, and what did you think of them? Let me know. It'd be great, because I must admit I really enjoyed A Building Full of Cats. Probably the favourite game played this month out of these, although I do really like Cake Invaders as well. I really enjoyed that game. So Cake Invaders and A Building Full of Cats are my favourite from these games. What are your favourites from these games, if you've played some or all of them? Or just let me know your favourite of the ones you played. Let me know which ones you haven't played and if you're going to go for it. I just love interacting, so please go for it. Comment section below. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you have enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please hit a thumbs up. That would be pretty awesome, because YouTube likes you when you do that, and so do I. So thank you very much in advance if you do that. And for an update on Gamerscore every month, do consider subscribing to the channel if you're not subscribed already. If you are already subscribed, well, you're awesome. Thank you very much indeed. Please join the awesome people if you're not subscribed. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that just leaves me to say thank you very much for watching or listening, because I know some of you just listen to these, so thank you very much for either. And as always, please do take care.